Hello, this is Rick Frankel with THD. We're watching Apple right now. So we can see for Apple that we have had a nice gap down here. Okay, a couple days ago we had that. But we can also see that if we look at the low here and the volume that's building down here, that our volume is decreasing for the sellers. But we can also notice on the 480 chart that there are no buyers entering and that we are bright red and at about a 40-degree angle, which is still a good pressure for the downtrend. If we look at the 120-minute chart, we can see, we'll bring it out a little bit here, so we can see here's a low that made a high, okay, so there's your volume. That was mostly buyers, okay, but we have broken that low, so we would go back to this low now, which also went up, but you can see that we have exceeded that. So we're having increased pressure for the sellers, and since this made a new highs, so that was an uptrend, we would also mark this one right here, which I had forgotten to mark. So we can see, if we look at that now, that Apple is showing us right here that the sellers are starting to step back in and that there's continued downward pressure on the stock as viewed with the 720 chart. I'm sorry, the 120 chart. Then if we look on the 30-minute chart, we can see that here's prior low, here's my new low before we started to come back up. Big spike, and we're up at 70, but just about 71 on the ADX, nice 45-degree angle. And for stocks, this is not uncommon to get up to 80 or 90, so unlike futures at 70 you won't trade, with stocks you can afford to go up to 80. We can see that we've had a couple of magenta peaks here on the 12-minute chart. Now the 12-minute chart is starting to show us that we're having the sellers here are taking a break, but the buyers are not showing interest, they're not stepping up. You can see this high, and look at the difference. So I think what's happening right now is that the sellers are nervous about entering the market, and they're taking a break, seeing if the buyers want to step in, especially with this big gap here that we had. You know, they like to fill the gaps eventually, so you can see that gap there. So we kind of got to watch to see what it's going to say to us right now. At the moment, although I think it's a test for buyers, I'm not prepared to enter, even though we have had volume divergence here. If we look at this, we'll look at this. We have had the volume divergence showing that the buyers are not interested in stepping in yet. $513.06, 513.15, so it's not higher. You can tell that by the, you didn't get another magenta dot. Had it been higher than a bar 3 bars back, would have given us a magenta dot. So you can see the buyers started to come in now on that bar. So we're watching our higher time frame. We still got 3 minutes left on the 10 minute, but you can see that at the moment, and we'll just keep this here to keep us looking at it, it's still low, but 3 minutes is a long time that bar can build. Now you can see, okay, 1 minute and 12, look at that, no buyers coming into that market. But let's wait for the bar to close, see what we get. Okay, so we had a little bit of volume divergence there. I'd like to see this finish here on the 10-minute chart. Okay, I believe that stock is now going to fall, so I would consider buying a put option.
Order filled.
And with options, what I'll do is I'll just mark where on the stock I entered. And my stop is going to be this ATR. So I'm looking to double my option. So I entered the option at $5.45. So we can see that the sellers came in nicely here, giving us confidence. See, we broke this low. So we're waiting for the sellers to continue to come back in now. Looks like they're pausing for a moment again, looking for buyers. Need to break this low now. We broke the low. Sellers are coming in. I'd like to see that volume bar increase. I'm going to be cautious now because I'm not seeing the sellers step in yet, although we made a new low. I believe we're going to see another retest here of this 508.50 right there. That's where we're going to see the retest. Do not want to see price go above that prior bar.
Where did you put Chris's shirt? You don't know.
So price did not penetrate that prior bar, but if we see it penetrate now, we're going to get out with our profits. Yep, we're going to take our profits. Going to hang tight. It hasn't penetrated it yet.
Order filled.
So we got out of that trade. We took our profits because I didn't want to see price penetrate this prior bar right here. So that's why I exited my option. With options, it happens so fast that I document my trade after the fact. Okay, got it documented.